Oh, hello.
Hello, hello.
How you doing, Andy?
I am mighty fine. How are you?
I am fabulous. Even more excited by the fact that we are here today for another Chase to the Underground. What better way to see off the week and head into the weekend?
Absolutely.
So we have already hopped in with the D's. The D's are already off, and yeah, they've done a pretty good job of sticking together so far.
Oh, and the C's are leaving now as well.
All right. So I'm also relying on Andy to bring me a bit of action from some of the other cats. Although his stream is looking a little bit laggy in comparison to mine, so I don't think we're going to use it all that much. Just so you can see what his looks like. Mate, it's a mess.
Because it's probably having to stream and bounce across. It is a little bit, isn't it? Christ.
It is a mess. But there you go.
That's strange. Why does it say it's watching me, but I'm not riding?
That is just the terrible quality of whatever you're using to stream on. Please do, if you got any questions, just hit them up in the chat. I can see Azia's already there saying hello, have a good race. Oh, thank you very much. If you do want to say something, then often we do bring in the chat in the racing. So if you've got something to say, you've got a prediction as to who is going to win, then please do let us know. And if this is your first time watching, then you should see on the screen that this is the Chase to the Underground. It is the Coalition's chase race, which we run every Friday, 8 p.m. CET. And we actually also have a series tied to it in Zwift Power. So we do try and keep track of how people do from week to week, as opposed to the kind of one-off chase races. It's a little bit... it needs a bit of work, but that's just on Zwift Power's front. But yeah, we're thinking about how we can kind of extend that so it becomes a bit more kind of involved and we have more of leaderboards. So yeah, we take forward the kind of chase race format a little bit. And if you don't even know what the Coalition is, then you should be able to see on screen that the Coalition, it is arguably the fastest growing club on Zwift. I think we're like 26th on the Zwift.
We're flying up there.
So yeah, we've got WTRL in our sights, which is crazy. If you're interested in joining, if you haven't got a Zwift team, or even if you're not necessarily interested in racing, but you want to be part of a club or a team and hang out, then hit us up. We do everything on Discord, so it's URL is discord.gg/coalition. All right, so as I say, we're in with the D's. They're doing a pretty good job. As you see, the ride leader Amy is just asking, you good D's? We can't see their replies, but we're just going to presume they are good. Whoa! And Paya here, rocking out on the old school Zwift bike. I suppose if you are a D, you are unlikely to have unlocked as many bikes as other people. So I'm not used to seeing some of those kind of Zwift-only bikes. They're kind of rare these days.
It is. It definitely is. Nice little change, but, a bit strange.
Oh, come on, Nikki. So Nikki there, she's just trying to help Hardy here, being a very dutable...
she is today's sweep, isn't she?
Sweeper, yeah. I think she's doing a pretty good job there to help Hardy back on.
It's always that question, to what extent do how far out do you drop them to let them come back on kind of thing?
Look at that. Perfectly done. Back in the group. Let's try and see how far. So 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes to the C's. Now the C's, I was looking in, so we've got about 200 riders out on course today. And the C's were by far the biggest. They got 60 riders I saw at sign up. I don't know how many have made it in. But they're at least twice the size of any of the other groups, I think.
Yeah, looking so far, they are at about 40, I think, managed to get on board. Yeah, the D's are quite small, unfortunately. There's only about 13 of them. You've got about just under 40 C's. The B's are now on course as well. about 30, no, about 20 of them. But yeah, the C's are
Yo.
piling the numbers in.
There's look, I mean, there is a lot of Tron bikes tonight. Someone's brought their disc wheels, quite a few disc wheels in there actually. Already a couple of riders being distanced. You don't want to get dropped just 3 kilometers or so into the race. I mean, it's about 25 kilometers in total. It's very flat. So the last couple of weeks, I chose climbs with I chose routes with a couple of climbs near the end, just to spice things up because chase races are normally on flat courses. And yeah, this one's I thought, I'm going to let people off, and we'll have a slightly flatter one this week, which we have got. So let's just see if any of these C's get lost on this ramp. And they seem to be going well. We'll be keeping an eye on the time gaps. Andy, I believe you have got a.
I have.
You've got a tool to actually have an even clearer idea of those time gaps. So I'll be relying on you even more.
Well, it's the first time I'm using it, so I'm a little bit learning. From actually, I think he's our leader, our sweeper, Vincent Davis, the man behind all this interesting data analysis. And at the moment, we're looking at the C's 2 minutes 40 behind the D's. And the B's are just over 2 minutes behind the C's. So yeah, nice and steady at the moment.
Let's just have a quick look on the Zwift Power live. Just to have an idea of their graphic. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Are the A's out on course already?
Not yet. I think it's only the B's.
Okay.
The A's might have a moment.
Right. Well, I'm not going to rely on the. I think the A's might have just started.
Yeah, they've just kicked off. I think. Yeah, they're back in. So
they've kicked off. Well, I mean, already. The what the predictions are, it's obviously very early days, but the predictions already on Zwift Power suggest that the B's and the C's are going to be very close. So obviously the B's are going to be faster, but the C's have got a much bigger group of riders. So yeah, I'll keep checking back to see how that is going. Let's move on and let's have a look at those B's. Just see. So what's the gap between the C's and the B's?
Let me click back on. Working out how this will work. So the gap between the C and the D's are about 2 minutes 20. So it's come down 20 seconds since I last told you as well. And it looks like the D's are spread out a little bit between their lead and their sweep by about a minute. How correct that is, I'm unsure. That's what I'm reading here at the moment.
Oh, so you're suggesting that from that front group, and then Nikki possibly has been dropped, so the sweeper.
No, Nikki's the one out ahead. It's Amy that's sat in, apparently.
Okay. Well, we will check that in a minute, just to see how everything's going. Great to see so many riders from the coalition here in the chase race representing. If you do find the race series on Zwift Power, then you will see that the coalition is leading the team rankings. Probably should come as no surprise, seeing as it is our own event. But it is just amazing to see so many people from our community coming out and actually participating and racing in the series week in, week out. And obviously all of the ride leaders are all from the coalition as well. So, and there's a lot. So obviously there's nearly always a ride leader and a sweeper for every category, and in some cases we'll have 3 sweepers. So again, I think that's the benefit, I think, of the C's. I've got a feeling that the C's have got 3 sweepers this week. So really determined to get the win.
I think the number of them they're in a good chance, and they're filled with coalition riders.
All right, so it's early days. I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think is possibly going to win this week? Given in mind it is a flat course, it is slightly shorter than some of the very first ones we put together. So the very first ones were about 30k. This one's 25. I've been heading for about 25 kilometers, and the time gaps are the shorter version, which we've been using the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
And the last couple of weeks, it's only been on their final climb where groups have been getting caught. So there's no climb this week.
yeah, I reckon because it's quite short. I think, especially maybe the Cat A's are going to know that they can afford to go a little bit harder than perhaps they might other times when they're trying to conserve a little bit, ready for some points. Looking at the moment for the ETAs, the A's are slightly ahead, but I'm always going to favour the A's. A lot of the guys I race with are in there. I'd like to see them come all the way through, but then the size of the C's, they're going to do well. They're going to do really well. I reckon that the biggest battle is going to be between Cat C and Cat B.
All right,
well, how they fight against each other, and if they combine, it's going to make it even tighter.
Whoa, the proof will be in the pudding on that. I mean, I'm just looking over on Zwift Power. It currently puts it's predicting as a big win by the A's. I mean, it actually, which surprises me, given I didn't think the A's were that big. But if you look at some of the gaps already on the course, the gaps are being closed quite quickly, I think. Maybe that's just because of the disparity in sizes of groups between them. But currently, Zwift Power is suggesting that the A's will win by a minute.
Yeah.
As where the B's and the C's are currently only about 13 seconds apart. And of course, we're not even halfway through yet. So it's going to be really interesting just to see how it plays out over the course of the next half an hour.
Yeah, I think so. And like looking at the sort of some of the average watt per K at the moment that's going on, the A's are looking around about 4 watt per K mark. The B's are sort of about, there's 3.5 towards the top end, and gradually a little dropping down, just naturally about how the categories sit. And I think that's just gonna, bring them in quite tight towards the end for sure.
Right now, Andy, enough of this kind of like normal analysis talk. I know you've got your data head on.
I'm trying to understand it. Get back to
well, if you don't understand it, just make it up. I mean, nobody knows.
Category E, I hear, are doing really well.
Have you come up with any catchphrases this week?
Put me on the spot again.
Well, I haven't really, because you knew you were going to be doing this all week.
Yeah, I know. My preparation's been poor.
Right, I'm getting.
How
that
about you?
feeling,
What have you got coming then? Yeah, I know. Can't you tell? I've rushed home for this.
You do?
Yeah.
You don't look like you've been rushing anywhere. You don't look like you've been rushing. I can't see any.
My rushing is quite laid back.
Yeah. You don't look rushed at all.
I don't quite have your dojo hairdo going on, do I?
It was better today. Listen, I brushed it down a little bit before the photo was taken.
Yeah, you don't look quite so shocked and surprised. You're like, oh, it's a camera.
Thanks. I mean, yeah, I'm doing the morning sessions, so it's not always going to be my best look. Well, actually, it's guaranteed to not be my best look. So,
if you got it,
anyway,
flaunt it. Many don't have
and
hair.
I do.
Look at that, Andreas is straight in there. The dynamic duo is live again. Doesn't he know it? We are here.
What do you mean straight in there? He posted that like 8 minutes ago.
Oh, you hadn't mentioned it yet, so.
I hadn't, because I just felt like I would be like sort of self-congratulatory when we.
Hey, you got to believe in yourself.
That's true. That's incredible. What's happening here? Oh, nasty. Let's be honest though. It's what we look forward to every week. I don't care about the Zwift racing. I just want to be inside.
Careful.
One of the Listen, this is the view everybody wants. It's very weird. It's like being in a rugby scrum, isn't it? And before you know it, here we go. Hello, and that we. You don't get this in any other Zwift races where you're just trying to go.
Imagine this in the Tour de France. Camera
exactly. Look at that camera view. You need to do that with a drone.
See, no one needs a borescope during this, do they?
A borescope?
Borescope, yeah. The long little
Right.
camera on the long wire that people stick places when they need.
Where do they normally stick it?
Down drains, to make sure they're clear.
Come on, you wanted to say arsehole. Just fucking just say it. The D's have already been overtaken. Did we miss that?
I think
No,
so,
that's a
yeah.
couple of D's who've already been dropped.
Okay. We're safe. Let me go on
So
a map so I can see what's going on.
it's a minute between the B's and the C's. I don't know. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. So the C's are here. Let's just jump ahead. Make sure we can see where the D's are. What's that gap looking like? So there you go, Nikki again. Very dutiful. I'm very impressed with this sweeping. Shouts out to Nikki because that's it's hard work to be a sweeper and to do it well. So there you go.
Absolutely.
The gap's still at 1 minute. It's just come under 1 minute now. So
I've jumped in with the A's. Let's see how they're getting on.
We've just been notified Amy temporarily lost signals to drop back, but is now back on it, which is great to see. Thanks for that little piece of inside information. D Young 2134. Is that your PIN number, by the way? Don't put your PIN number in your username. That is a piece of advice which I always carry with me in my wallet. Okay, so wait a minute. It looks like the gap just went out. That can't be right. Between the D's, I'm very confused. Let's hop in with the A's because we've not had a look at them at all so far. Here they are. They don't look like they're very far away at all. It's hard because there's obviously some riders who have been dropped, so it's hard to see. But it looks like about 1:20 at the moment between the A's and the B's. So that suggests it's going to be very close by the time that we actually get to the finish line. Let's have a look. Hop over onto the Zwift Power. Yeah, the gaps are definitely coming down.
Well, I say the A's are only 4 minutes back from the front of the D's. So, yeah, the gaps are coming down quick.
If we hop over onto Zwift Power, then looking at it, it actually has now placed the C's and the A's much closer together with regards to the finish. I think it's going to be close. Has your prediction changed? I can't remember what your prediction was. You thought the A's were going to win, right?
Yeah, I'm down with the A's, but I think it all come down to how the C's and the B's when the B's catch the C's, how they work together. That's going to then.
So you think the B's are going to catch the C's?
It all comes down to that, doesn't it? I think. Well,
listen,
unless the A's catch the B's first. Oh no!
Let me sit on the fence.
Well, I'm with the A's. The A's are going to win. The A's are going to win.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm talking
what about the B's and the C's?
It depends if the A's catch the B's first, or if the B's catch the C's first. It's going to come down to that.
Well, but no one's paying you for your theory. Oh look! I just saw Alex Banville. He must be listening to the stream. Alex Banville just said, "Andy believes in us. Let's not disappoint." So
always,
your message is getting through. I'm not saying anything, by the way, Alex. I'm not saying anything about the A's.
Always rally them forwards.
I'm currently not sadly. I'll take that back. I'm a C rider at the moment. You did used to be a B, but I'm going to have to support the C's then, as I am now a loyal C, and I do think they have a really good chance.
Well, they've got the size behind them.
Francesco, what up? Oh, look, that's a beautiful angle. That is. Oh, as they vanish.
Beautiful. All right. Into the sunset. No hard feelings, Reese. Oh,
I love that. We can having some live banter with the actual, guys while they're racing. I guess probably half of our audience who are watching are probably in the race right now. So the A's are up to about, what are they on? 11 kilometers. Let's hop back to the front of the race. to just see. We're going to scroll through. We're on the Bs. There's a loose C. Well, I don't actually know that. I just mean they're off the back. So let's see what that gap is between the Cs. Oh, well, it's under a minute now. It's come down to 50 seconds between the Cs and the Ds. Let's just go see how well the actual Ds are holding it together.
There are a few dropped Ds, so it might be some of them you're catching up on numbers as well.
Drop D, my favourite tuning on a guitar.
Oh. I've never tuned a guitar, so
that's why your guitars sound like shit.
Maybe they were just great in the first place.
No, it doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. You stick to the banjo, mate.
Stick to the banjo. Just because I'm from the countryside.
Yeah, pretty much. Can you play a banjo?
Don't think I've ever tried.
Right. Well, I think that is your calling, to be honest.
Maybe, well, you know who the Wurzels are, don't you? They get
it's not commentary, so I think it could be. I think it could be the banjo, mate.
Well, I can come on and play for you if you like.
Please, basically, we'll live stream you playing the banjo for the first time
during Chase Race.
You can do the coalition. Do the coalition theme tune.
Fantastic! I did like your new little intro video. Very nice, very nice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we've obviously tarted things up a little bit this week. I was a bit fed up with just using all of the free skins and what have you, so I thought I would use some of the new kind of backgrounds and stuff that I made for streaming with, which everybody in our community now has access to. And I thought, well, should probably use that myself.
We're going places. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, you can't really say people who Zwift are going places, can you? Because we're stationary.
True.
So,
true. Well, saying that, with before I got a mat for under my trainer, I used to sprint across the living room floor. So
did you?
Yeah, that was always entertaining.
Well, just for the cat?
Wow, I'm to run out of the way quickly.
Good. And now you've got a kicker bike, haven't you?
I have on a mat as well. Yeah, it's been great. I've enjoyed it.
Do you feel like switching to the kicker bike has helped at all? What were you using before?
I had a 2018 kicker with a £90 TT bike on it.
That's a cheap bike, that is.
Oh yeah, very. But I had my SRAM Axis group set sat on it as well, waiting to go on a proper bike for outside. So it's quite an expensive group set on a very cheap bike for sure. But yeah, because I was riding a bike that didn't really, fit me or suit me that well. Moving to this made a massive difference. But numbers wise, they're all pretty balanced, and I was dual recording beforehand as well. So seeing that, they're all, for me, comfort wise, it's a hell of a lot better. So obviously you can ride a lot harder when you're more comfortable, can't you? Especially for those longer stages.
Yeah. That's lovely. I mean, it's lovely to hear you talking about your dual recording. Of course, at the Coalition, we take, I guess, transparency and fair racing pretty seriously. Yeah, for example, for the Zwift Racing League, all of our riders have to do a weigh-in at the very beginning to ensure that they are using the correct weight. Something we would love to see actually used by more people racing in the ZRL. It's probably only a very small majority of people who are actually who are doing that. So I imagine our community probably represents a majority of people actually doing that, which is quite cool to ensure that we
just to jump in there, you have the C's about to catch on the D's. Don't want to miss out on the action.
Do we?
Here.
We have some C on D action, do we? Well, I'm going to hold. Oh, look at that! Look at that angle.
All on view.
Hello, Dolly. Look at that. I mean, it's going to be difficult to spot when the catch happens because there's all this dust being kicked up. Virtual dust, not real dust, but virtual dust. So the C's are going to have to probably hold their breath for a second. But they are catching right now. Look, you don't often get these sorts of angles when a catch is made, but here they are rampaging through
all the way
like
through.
an angry Pac-Man that's been locked in the closet for several months, and he's finally been released, and he is munching through those D's. Nom 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 nom. So, do we think any of those D's are going to be able to hold on?
What, you mean the D's hold on to the C's?
Yeah, well, Amy's giving them, cheering them on.
This is their chance, to band together, to get in that draft, make the C's do the work, sit in the back. You can, put your legs up, enjoy the ride, and just get towed on through, couldn't you?
I don't think that's how it works. You can't put your legs up in a Zwift race. You can do it on the descents, but there are no hills. If you clearly weren't listening at the beginning of the stream, but there are no hills in this particular edition of the Chase to the Underground.
No,
but if for those who didn't spot it, yes, the D's were just caught by the C's. We got to see it in Technicolor vision. It was absolutely stunning, spellbinding kind of experience. To see that live, it's like seeing an elk hunted by wolves. You can see Amy there. I'm not sure if Amy, I think she's not a D rider, so she's probably finding it a little bit easier. That is often the case when you get some of the ride leaders who are racing a lower cat just to help out. It's going to be easy for them to kind of make the catch and stay on. But yeah, the pace will probably, I don't know, it'll pick up, but the group speed will pick up. So even if they're not pushing as hard, but it's quite good to see that so many of the Ds, I would say, well, quite a few Ds have managed to stay in. And there's a long tail there.
There's a mass of them now. And I think we might be down to the A's might catch the B's at they're either all come together at the same time, or the A's might just eat the B's up before going through. Because saying that, there's a couple of A's already.
The B's do not look like they're very far behind because
there's a couple of A's already within the B's. Are they all splitting up, or what's going on? Trying to work this out. Oh no,
they're probably going to be.
Okay, so the B's have split. There's a very small group who's pushed on out front, and then there's another group that's dropped in and already been soaked up by the A's.
Well, listen, look. Just stop your wollygagging. Gollygagging? I don't know what that.
Should we just watch? Let's let the action unfold in front of us.
Shall we? What's it? Lollygagging. That's the one. Stop lollygagging because. Yes, come on. Weren't you born in the 50s like the rest of us?
Not quite,
Anyway, well, look, you can see the beacon. It's always very nice when you can actually catch the beacons ahead.
Oh, absolutely.
So it feels pretty inevitable now, I would say, that the B's will catch the C's. You could just see they've gone past them on the switchback. So if you look at the top of the map, you can actually see that. So it's going to be very close.
Behind, though.
It's going to be very close because remember, it's only about 25 kilometers. So we have about 7 kilometers left of this race before the end. So it's going to be very close. Just going to hop on over to Zwift Power. Oh, and it is saying it's going to be close. The same that I've said. At the moment, it has the A's and the C's 1 second apart in its estimation.
It's crazy.
So you can't get much closer than that. But of course, the B's are going to be the kingmakers in all of this, I think, because they are going to be helping the C's, I think, if they catch them. But then if the A's catch the B's, then the B's are going to be helping pull apart the group. So it is all to play for.
It's all about how they, form together now. Do they become one big team or do they keep fighting against each other?
Yeah, well, it's not, as the Spice Girls once sung, it's not going to be 2 becomes 1. It could be 3 becomes 1.
Good. And look at that nice bit of advertisement for our next event coming up in half an hour there, Reese.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've got time, you want to do a workout, then our friends over at Canyon Esports are doing Higher Power, which is a very kind of unique event. So it is a 1 hour workout session. And also at the same time, our friend John B, drum and bass legend that he is, will be playing live on his Twitch. So you basically, it's like Peloton, but actually good. You don't watch somebody else sweating. You do your own sweating. Thank you very much to my lovely assistant for bringing me a cup of tea.
Where's mine? Come on.
Well, you have to ask Sean. Yeah, so yeah, there's another event. So we might, if we still end up chatting away, we might hop over and just see what that is. So Anthony Noppen from the Canyon Esports team is leading it, and he is leading one of his own workouts. There's another one of his, which should be quite good.
I think he said it's a little bit more friendly than last week's.
Yeah, well,
I scared some off before.
Possibly. So yeah, it's a tough. It's kind of a graveyard shift, 9 p.m. CET. But we always just have a pretty good turnout. But I say there are no other events where you get that kind of opportunity to do a group workout with a live DJ. So it's very unique in that sense. But as I say, 9 p.m. on a Friday night is a tough one to get a lot of people. But if you are available, check it out. We will hop over onto their stream after this race just to give you a little look at what goes down on the Higher Power event. Just so you know, there is a couple of things in the chat. Is chat overlay going to work? Chat overlay never works. I don't know why.
Unless they've got an owl send it.
Well, yeah, maybe. Hey, why don't you go in the chat and send something?
I'm going to try. I can't send anything from the page. I've got to jump into the stream somehow. Bear with. I've also think I'm streaming as well today. You know, sharing your stream onto my stream.
True. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's all I had to do all along was actually to have the chat window actually open.
I can't even do that myself.
What an amateur.
Oh, I know.
But to be honest, it makes the other screen so small that I don't know why you'd necessarily...
You're not shrink it up?
No. Part of using the restream setup is that it makes life very, very easy. There we go. Hambone. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name. Could be Hambone. Could be Hambone. But he says, hello, Reese and Andy. Stellar commentary. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very kind. We do our best to make this as kind of weird, make as weird as possible. Yes, he is. Friday family night. It's the Coalition family, baby. We're all together here live in the chat and in the world of Watopia. So we've got just we've got less than 5k. It's about 4k left in this race. What's that gap looking like? 30 seconds between the C's and the B's. I did not think it would be so big, to be honest, at this point.
We're getting close to the end. Yeah. Obviously, we've lost that hill that was coming in. That's gone past. There's all sort of downhill and flat now, isn't it? It's how are they gonna? Who's gonna hammer home the hardest?
Well, that's a good question. Who is going to hammer home the hardest? Good alliteration, though, at least.
I've seen some of the A's trying to push it.
John Mulby says, come on, C's. Yeah, baby, come on. My money's on the C's. It's got to be, surely. But that gap's wrong. That gap's wrong. We've landed on some drop riders there. But the C's have done incredibly well to stay together, haven't they?
Yeah. Let's say the Beacon's just round the corner from the A's.
Yeah. Yeah.
About in view.
Not impressed. Yeah.
They've done fantastic.
That's it. Yeah. A little bit more. I know I'm very...
We're British. What do you expect?
Come on, just a little bit of an inflection. Just so like the B's will take it. There you go. That's how people talk when they're doing.
The B's won't get it. The A's will get in there first.
Tell Simon to get a move on. That's how you talk normally, isn't it?
Something.
I don't know. I've never done it properly.
There we are. What were we trying yesterday? Go to the chopper, but we've both done.
Go to the
terrible.
chopper. I'm very bad at it. I did used to know someone who was very good at it, and I think that was his one redeeming feature.
I'm sure I used to be better at it, but hey-ho.
Well, it's just one of those skills that you pick up in life, and sometimes it has such important skills do have to still be moved away.
That's it. Look at that. John's getting in there, shouting at his good old friend Simon to get a move on.
Well, as he should do. Right, I'm going to get rid of this chat because it makes that main screen so much smaller.
Oh, no. Was it on like Donkey Kong? That's what
do you know what? I don't know if you watch the Premier League, but Dave Tao, he dropped the "It's on like Donkey Kong" within the first 2 minutes. Which I found shocking, to be honest. I've never seen him or heard him say "It's on like Donkey Kong" so early on.
If I got £1 for every time he said it, I'd be a millionaire.
It legitimately was not on like Donkey Kong at that point, though. So I find that very disturbing. Wait a minute. Well, this is the finish.
What? We're already there.
We're already there. Oh, are we? The sprint's going down. Here we go. Here's the C's. They're going for it. Oh, there's a breakaway from Morning. Morning. Good morning, Coalition. And it is Morning who takes the lead. Second is Kerr. Hemming, I think, came in third. Well,
jump back. Can you see some of the others?
There we go. Oh, no. The A's have just come over.
Gone through. Everyone finished together. Was that the perfect chase race?
That was 100% the perfect chase race, I think.
Yeah, to all come in like a pack like that. Bloody hell.
Jeez Louise.
My screen is just full of orange riders. Not orange,
that genuinely was on like Donkey Kong.
Yep, on like Borat's song.
Yeah, I haven't dropped that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to get in there.
Drop your phone, but I haven't used that.
On like Borat's
week one. I mean, it's barely on, isn't it? It's barely on like Borat's phone. That's what it should be. Right, let's head over onto Zwift just to see what those results came out. Just if I look at the race predictions, before it finished was 38:03 for the C's, 38:03 for the A's, 38:05 for the B's, and the D's were a little bit later on. They're about 50 seconds after. Well, if that means there's still some out, of course, it's very hard to actually get back once the event's finished.
Here's a prediction. How long until Zwift Power get results up?
Oh, tomorrow?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't bloody know. Yeah, I still haven't got access to our own Zwift Power events yet, which is very annoying.
Keep going back. Keep going.
You think?
Maybe. What? No, I think most people will be through.
They must have finished. Surely the D's are finished now.
Looking good in pink, I saw someone say. Absolutely.
Oh, well, if you haven't noticed, we're very pink here.
That's the best bit about some of the chase race. You know, if you're on the lower category, as soon as you go to the finish line,
so lost.
You appear in pink. Yeah, no, we are lost.
They're so lost in so many ways. You do not know.
This makes the entertainment. You wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Look at some runners going.
Euro. I'm sorry, Euro, but we're not in charge of Zwift. Otherwise, maybe we'd make it a lot easier to jump between the different riders. Instead, we have to do this farcical way of hopping between just random people and hoping it works. Thank you very much.
I think some still out there.
Well, are you just saying that because Nico says I'm still out here?
Exactly.
But so is the truth.
Watopia,
so is the truth, Nico. So, and we're
all out the closet here.
Right. Listen, mate, you ruined my X-Files mention.
I know.
Azia says, good race for all. Well, it was not a good race for all. Maybe it was a good race to be part of. But I'm afraid in the end, the C's have it. The C's have it.
Unlock! Win. Oh, Moritz in there. In for the chat.
That was my you, says Moritz. Very informative. Thank you, Moritz. Nico agrees. The truth is out there. Moritz says, what's up? Haha. Yes, indeed. But Andy, you missed my You didn't get my what's his name? Burko. You didn't get my John Burko. You haven't been watching enough of Prime Minister's Question Times, have you?
Probably no. Oh, I watched that briefly the other day, watching all the abuse going on.
Oh, it's fairly fair abuse.
Yeah.
Moritz says, "Love the streaming. Insane work again." Insane is probably fairly accurate, to be honest. That's what we aim for.
It's insane from our end, anyway.
Andy, do you want to pronounce that name?
Don't even know where to start. No offense.
I'm afraid Andy's not. Neither am I very good with Cyrillic. So, yeah.
For your information, fun. I'm going to assume Vun is fun.
It was very fun. Yes, and Matthias, they all know they get their chat shown off. So Matthias says, "Congrats to the Sea, strong ride." Was indeed. They had the numerical advantage. For those who did not catch it, they did have a bigger group. So they were.
They had some good raw power in there as well, didn't they?
But that's what it comes down to when you do these chase races. You know, you never know how big your group's going to be, and yeah, you've got to play to your advantage. So well done. I think there was a bit of recruiting going on in the Seas because they were determined to get the win this week, having been caught the last 2 weeks by the A's on the climbs. I think they were determined to get the win this week.
I have to say the Seas have come to life in the server over this last week or so. I'm getting called into race now. I'm afraid. Or am I?
Who's calling you into race?
Moritz and Asia.
Oh, right. Well, maybe one of them want to come on and do the live stream next week, and you can do the race, and we can watch you to see how you do.
Well, Moritz has his famous scream that he puts out there, and that gets everyone riding as hard as they can from the TTs the other day. Quite a well-known.
What is his scream?
I don't know. I wasn't there listening for it. I wasn't riding. But I've seen it in the chat.
Well, you weren't riding. That seems to be a bit of a recurring theme by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Well, I was working late this week. I can't get back all the time.
Why aren't you racing with me in Awakening?
Why aren't you? Well, I say why aren't you racing either?
I will be. I'll be back in Awakening.
Can I race and commentate? Oh, Christ. Do you want the entertainment of that, Reese?
No. Being honest, no, I don't. Right.
We can get. So yeah, we'll carry on.
I will. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm going to hop over onto Zwift Power and just see if there are results. I'm just going to preempt that with a no, but let's have a look.
It's usually a no.
It's a no. So back when, for the very limited amount of time where Zwift gave me access to Zwift Power, I was able to generate the events pretty quickly, generate the results pretty quickly, but some reason I got kicked out in the last couple, so I can't do that. So yeah, we're just going to have the long wait to see what the final results are. But we did actually catch the finish line at least, which was quite nice.
I've made a change.
It's not something we've always been able to do, to be honest.
And it was planned. We got that perfect.
There was a little bit of panic there where I was like, where I finally realised, oh, no, actually, this is the finish line.
It creeps up on you. I wonder if that's why the Seas won. The other riders are just sat back waiting too much. They didn't know where the finish line was coming. I'm sure they'll throw all the excuses out, won't they?
Right, let's watch some of this. Let's watch some running action. Oh, look at that.
Is that you?
That's not me.
Oh, no. Kiwi.
I have been thinking of starting a coalition running club, though.
We've got a running chat.
Yeah.
I think I'm level 6 at running on Zwift.
We've got some running commentary. I'm level 2, which is impressive considering I don't have a treadmill.
Either do I. I use the gym treadmill. Actually,
I'm going to get a gym membership again. So when going to the gym doesn't mean potentially dying, I will get some more Zwift running in, I think. So
I done it for the 2020 Zwift Academy try, doing the running. Had to do it all in the gym at the amongst all the lockdowns going on. And Christ, there's no aircon, and I trying to do the 10K effort they want you to do. And Christ, I've never sweated so much. You look like an idiot running fast on a treadmill in a gym, in a public gym. It's not the normal sight. I'll tell you
I
that.
can imagine. I can imagine you do. To be honest,
Yeah.
very sweaty.
It's like, why is that person
And
working out?
gangly.
That's not right. Treadmills are for walking. Come on.
Yeah, you need to be able to. If you're not running and reading a book whilst listening to some of the most generic house music you've ever heard, then you're not doing it properly.
Precisely.
Oh, I love this. Get on my soapbox. That's true. I'm always on my soapbox. Right. Well, listen. Let's just have one more look at Zwift Power just to see if we get it. Otherwise, we're going to wrap things up. I think the race is finished too soon before Higher Power, to be honest.
Yeah, 12 minutes still to go.
I'm not going to continue talking for another 12 minutes. I could, trust me.
Oh, we definitely could.
I'm going to hold back. I'm going to hold back.
They're in the pen ready. Look at that workout coming up then. So what we've got, 8 sets of 15-second 280 watt blast. Who are we even looking at? It's always interesting to know. Who are you viewing? Oh, it's yourself.
Me. It's me.
All right.
Me. Well, actually, it looks like a fairly. I don't know. I'm just looking at it. I think you're going to have some little bursts at the beginning. Then I think it's
Little
maybe
threshold bursts, aren't they?
I think it might be Sweet Spot. What is it?
Red is threshold. Or is yellow threshold? I should know, shouldn't I?
Is that?
You got some little 15-second sprints at the end.
No, look. See, it's going to be basically. Well, it's a bit below Sweet Spot, to be honest. 3 minutes at 255 watts, and then 30 seconds kind of bursts at the end of those, which is still slightly below threshold. So yeah, that is fairly easy. So it's close to Sweet Spot, I guess. And then you've got 4 sprints at the very end. So that is quite a nice workout, to be honest.
I always like the workouts that involve a good sprint in the end. Always helps that, race finish sprint when you're fatigued. Always helps benefit.
The one I put at the end of Critical Condition was a good one because you're really knackered by that point. Oh, I just saw Ricardo's hopped into the Higher Power event.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I know quite a few were due to do your end boss workout around the Christmas time, and I have a feeling many of them became busy.
I'll have to find out. Yes, for those who don't know, I have a training plan on Training Peaks that I put together with the help of as well some of the athletes in the Canyon Esports team, and so it's got a lot of their favorite workouts. Some workouts for me as well, and the final one is a really nasty workout and is modeled on a race I did actually outside, it was way above my station, so
it's designed to be done on erg, isn't it, Reese? That's correct.
No,
on ERG mode.
You cannot do it on erg mode.
I'm not. I don't want to be the only idiot here. Come on.
You are. So originally, it was designed to be used outside, actually, so it replicated all of the efforts of a lap of this race.
It is brutal.
And then I thought, well, it'd be interesting to see whether this actually works on the trainer, and it does, but it's hard, and you cannot do it on an erg mode because it's too hard otherwise.
So it also goes from a 10-second pause into very, very high max sprints, and obviously on erg mode, going from a standstill into that is just impossible.
Exactly.
It's great fun. I've not returned to it since I've done it. I'll tell you that, but it was great fun.
Well, yeah, we'll just try and do it
normally,
not using erg mode. So,
but
so that's an emulation. So it's from basically freewheeling into a corner and then sprinting out of it. That's why it goes from 0 to max sprint.
0 to hero.
So it's not typical to e-racing. So yeah, in that sense, but the entire rest of the workout is for e-racing. So it's just that one where it goes, right, let's just see how all of that training also could work to a sort of effort you would need to do to race at a top level outside. But again, you have to go from a lot of really hard efforts, keep on top of the pedals, keep your power really high, and then kind of recover a little bit, which is very true, I think, to Zwift racing, especially with the ZRL where you have all of these
Yeah.
intermediate points, where you do
It's quite
actually
often
have
learning
to do that.
to recover at threshold as well, isn't it? Sometimes putting in those anaerobic VO2 sessions, especially the first ZRL race. Having 3 sprints within 3K of each other, and they were, fair length sprints. So you're not going to recover very well in between them. And I think that's really what makes Zwift racing quite unique, is just for that intensity, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the ZRL, next week is London. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, good. So I'll be jumping in for my first race with Insomnia. It's this week just gone. I was with Genesis. Jumping between time zones, and yeah, I think it should be good. Lots of sprints. What's it? 5, 6 laps. Sprint each lap with FTS and FAL points, if I'm correct off the top of my head. And I do enjoy the sprints. I'm sat in there, and I'll be in with Moritz, and he is one of our heavyweight sprinters. So we're going to have some great fun, I think. Going head to head and see, who we can knock down as we go as well. Yeah, it'd be great. Looking forward to it.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'll be doing it this week with Awakening at 7 a.m., which will be horrible. The only benefit, I think, is that our Oceania group is very small. So, I mean, the flip side of that is if they get really aggressive in the sprints, then it's going to break up really quickly and be a fairly miserable time. But then on the other side, people might want to take slightly less risks. I don't know. We'll have to see. I will give you a report after Tuesday.
It'd be interesting, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And hopefully results come through a bit quicker. Always nice.
That's true. Yeah, a bit of a disastrous week in the Premier League and in the WTRL, ZRL. So yeah, hopefully some of those bugs are ironed out for next week. Yes, so I think we will wrap things up right there. Oh, someone just noted to say Andy Kemp, fastest guy I know, would have loved to see him in the beta team. Well, as Andy said, you're going to go for it again next year, right? So
yeah, absolutely. It's all, I've got targets where I'm sat now. I can fine tune my training and get that progression in. It's, at the end of the day, like you don't learn from winning, do you? It's all about those steps
well, you would know
along the way. Exactly. I've never won. I'm gonna go and cry now. My failures in life. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks a lot for joining me on this stream. Actually, it was a lot of fun, which makes a nice change. I'm joking. Just for anybody who is interesting, well, I'm going to hop back to this one. Basically, we're on. We just were watching the Chase to the Underground. It is our chase race, which happens every Friday, 8 p.m. CET. And that is put on by the Coalition, as sure many of you already know. But if you are interested in joining, you need a Zwift team. We're the fastest growing team on Zwift at the moment. And you can find us at discord.gg/coalition. Come join us. We have 40 teams in the ZRL.
And potential for a lot more already if people arrived a little bit more promptly prior to the season.
I think we always get latecomers, but we had a lot of latecomers.
A lot, yeah.
This time. So,
but you see, like our team time trials for the Thursdays, they're growing each week. We're having to chuck in a new team and a new team. So it's
great.
The community's alive. That's what we want.
It's alive.
I'll leave you at that.
I was hoping you were going to fill in then. But I thought I'll just leave the silence. Sometimes silence is better.
It's golden.
Yeah, right. Sweet. Thank you everyone for coming along, watching, cheering on, hopping into the chat. It's been a lot of fun. So I hope you all have a great weekend. And we'll see you again here next Friday.
Will we raid John B? We're being asked before we go.
Yeah.
Is he on yet?
He's not on yet. I imagine. So I'll have a look. Yeah, let's we can raid him with the 9 people that are now left. So
yeah, that's probably our max viewing, isn't it? 9 people.
we're up to like 20, I think, today.
Wow, yeah. So when you start seeing like last week, week before, you start getting your competitors jumping in, trying to get the tidbits from us, don't they?
Exactly. It's all about the tidbits.
It is.
It's tidbits? Is it
tidbits or tidbits?
I think it's
tidbits.
Tidbits, but you normally say you pronounce it titbits. Tidbits.
Tidbits.
I think we've descended into
yeah, no idea.
Into chaos here.
Wow, it's what we're made of.
I'm just trying to have a look, see if the John B is live. We'll have to raid him quickly because the amount of people who are willing to hang around and listen to this is reducing quite the rate.
We need to learn how to implement the air horn. Our server air horn into this.
You sound like a seal. No, yeah, I think you have to have the...
Sounds like you're trying to squeeze a bit too hard there. You might hemorrhage, careful.
That is how you do an air horn. It's basically, yeah, you are hemorrhaging to get that sound.
You know.
Right. Oh, God, finding John B probably can't come quick enough. For I'm going to end up raiding with 0 people, which would be hilarious. C is Mr. JB live. Oh, my Twitch is taking ages. Well, there you go. I said we weren't going to talk for the 12 minutes. I said I could do, and we have.
Challenge accepted.
My wife is over there nodding, going, "Yes, of course you have. Yeah. Of course you have. No problem for you."
I was going to say, Sean's not nodding, but she can't hear what you're saying either, so she can't agree.
No, probably just as well, to be honest.
Oh, that we've been talking for ages.
John B. He's live. All right. Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna do a raid. There's a final thing. Okay.
Join the coalition. It's the place to be.
Yeah, can you now? I have to. Oh, there we go.
It's all about the chaos.
Raid John B. Beta. See if that actually works. Hopefully it works.
Anyway, I'll start the tunes, I guess. Oh, I can hear it. Oh, is that your phone?
That's my phone, mate.
Oh, look, you've been dropped, mate. What's going on? They've dropped you.
Oh no! Come back!
Start. Do you not know how these Swift races start? Come on.
Very intense, isn't it? So there you go. So, oh yeah, that you can only see my workout, sadly, which is to say I'm doing 0 watts, unsurprisingly.
Good work. It's about the taking part that counts.
Good group out there. So yeah, if you don't know about group workouts, then you can do group workouts like this one. This is run by Canyon Esports. And yeah, it keeps everyone together so you don't get dropped, which is quite cool.
And every single person doing the higher power one will unlock our absolutely fabulous pink coalition jersey.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
There is someone in a rogue jersey, though, I will admit.
Oh, I have been subscribing to John B for 12 months.
Did he just congratulate you? Is that what I heard?
I don't know if my raid actually worked, to be honest. So
maybe can you change your stream view to Twitch instead?
Wait a minute. I'm going to go to... I'm going to try it again. Otherwise, I'm just going to end the stream.
Yeah. We're always good at ending on a high.
Yeah, it slowly descends into just utter boredom whilst we try and actually finish the stream.
Oh, trying to raid again.
We'll see if it works.
Oh, it does say raiding John Beta with 2 viewers and probably one of the viewers.
It says
Just
4
doesn't-
here. Oh, the other one's supposed to be on YouTube.
Maybe.
Oh, damn it. Right. Well, even though we're doing that, I'm going to switch up the view. So we're going to move to the fancy video thing I made. Thanks, everyone, for watching. If you do head over, hit up John B. Beta, who's playing live now whilst everybody in this workout is sweating it. Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Goodbye.
Reese. Cheerio.
My pleasure. Thank you.